What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know Wes Watson's over there babbling, trying to get someone to get it in. Man, please hit that like and subscribe button thing. Put your notification on bell on all so you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I am kicking, man. And guess what? Breaking news. The full gym attack video has finally been exposed, right? And if you guys go tap in, shout out to John Bravo. Go tap into Johnny Bravo's channel, man, at John Bravo. And go listen to what he's got to say because it's crazy, right? He actually tapped in with the manager of Elevation Gym, the gym where this alleged attack took place, right? And man, did he open John Bravo's eyes to a whole lot of information. Now, John Bravo had to finagle a little bit, play the role a little bit, but somehow, some way, he was able to come across this gym manager's exposure of Wes Watson of what really happened. So I'm going to say yesterday, I did a video saying that I thought it was staged. And a lot of us thought it was staged. Come to find out, it was not staged. It wasn't. I guess Wes Watson really handled his business. But precisely how did he handle his business? Exactly the way you would think he did. With the assistance of a weapon and others, allegedly, right? So according to what John Bravo has put out, and again, man, I'm not saying that Wes Watson did or didn't use a weapon. But this is coming from the manager's version of the story of what really happened. Now, there's been plenty of versions of people that have talked to people that were actually there that said it was just Wes Watson handling business. But according to the manager, who has given up these clips, who gave Wes Watson the video showing what happened, we knew certain parts were taken out. There were certain parts that were not put in the video for content purposes, right? And those parts expose a lot of what really actually happened. So the get down is that this black dude walked up on Wes Watson and nonchalantly pushed him, right? In a weirdish manner. And when he pushed Wes Watson, we go to the video where it shows Wes Watson giving this guy a 9-piece extra crispy, right? Which didn't look like it was too damaging with Wes Watson's skinny, bony Skeletor fingers. But at the same time, he did do that. Okay, and there's been plenty of people saying maybe there was a pad there. I thought even there was a pad there or something. But according to this manager and what he told John Bravo, what exactly happened was this. Wes Watson was sitting on the bench surrounded by a whole bunch of fucking dick swingers and one of his homeboys. And at the same time, when this guy came up to Wes Watson and posed a threat, Wes Watson jumped back and pulled off a weightlifting belt and hit him in the face with the weightlifting belt. Allegedly, right? This guy fell on the ground when Wes Watson hit him with the belt, and Wes Watson's homeboy started to proceed to kick on this guy and Wes Watson, and that's why the excerpt wasn't shown in the video. That's why that was taken out of there, and all Wes Watson showed was him being aggressive. He took out the part of him and another man jumping on this guy. So, of course, we always wondered why this guy was down and just gripping at his face and blocking is because he was already hit in the face with a belt. Now, whether this is true or not is up for debate. But if John Bravo puts it on his channel, he's done his homework. And like he said, man, he tapped in with the manager of the gym, and that's exactly what happened. So for all the people that are giving Wes Watson credit for being this big bad ex-convict that just handles his business on site, not without the assistance of others. Now, shit goes down, it goes down. If I have a homeboy with me and I'm somewhere public and someone runs up, more than likely me and my homeboy are going to get off where we're mad at. If it's something that's established a one-on-one, of course, then let it be a one-on-one. But I'm not hating on the fact that his homeboy threw a couple kicks. Everyone gets pumped up when there was a fight, man. I remember one time I was in prison, the yard and the mixed yard, and there was a white Crip, man, that I had words with on the tier, and I told him to come out to the yard, handle business. When he did come, my homeboy was like, let's get him. And I was like, nah, I got it. And I handled my business, and that's just the way it went down. So Wes Watson could have easily just handled his business, but he could not prevent his homeboy from jumping in. Now, why did he have to use a weapon? If the guy didn't have a weapon, I don't know. Maybe that's just a killer instinct inside Wes Watson. Maybe he's just that motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. There's nothing fair in fighting, and he's absolutely correct. There is nothing fair when it comes to fighting. Joey Stacks, he took a knife to a curl fight, right? To a curl contest. So, he was like, hey, homie, there's nothing fair on the streets when it comes to fighting, homie.
I was taught if you got a fucking butter knife, butter that biscuit, homie. Yeah, you want a biscuit? You want one? I like biscuits. Yeah, damn big boy, you got big biscuits. Can I look at your biscuits? I want to touch them. Can I touch them?
Right. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, but it's crazy that now the full footage is being released. It's being brought out and brought to the attention of people. This means that the fight was not staged. This means that Wes Watson is in a whole lot of trouble because the police were there for the incident report. Now, why wasn't Wes Watson arrested? If he used weapons, if there's video footage, which I'm sure had to be forwarded to the police officers as well as the district attorney, why is Wes Watson still out there at the gym and riding in Bugattis? Now, I don't want to see the man locked up. I don't think anybody does. We want to see everyone prosper in life. But how? How come and why come does this man get to get away with things like this when the average everyday Joe doesn't? If it was me, man, the police would have locked my ass up quick, right? Maybe, I guess, money, influence, and I don't even want to say it, but certain things about you, you're able to get away with certain things like this. Again, we're not going to make it racial. We're not going to say it's a white man and a black man, and we're not going to do that at all, right? But I'm going to let you guys go ahead and fiddle faddle around and figure that one out. How is it that a black man is getting jumped by guys of different ethnicities, yet no one goes to jail? Perfect example of why brothers be tripping, cuz on pyro, right? And I understand it. Whatever the case is, man, this gym manager is sure. Do we give him credibility for what he's saying? He's putting it out there. He's saying that Wes Watson used a belt and that his homeboy jumped in. And the gap is easily explained why Wes Watson would not show that footage, because it's going to put his homeboy in danger of getting incarcerated, but it's also going to put, his credit. It's going to shoot his credibility. His credibility is going to be a gaga. It's going to be shot. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. For the big, badass, tough Wes Watson, ex-convict, the killer, level 4-yard smoker, straight beat your ass, fucking spit on you, beat you up, punk, right? That guy. You had to have help. Damn. Where was your antennas when Wes Watson was over there screaming for help with his homeboys? And again, man, he couldn't prevent his homeboy from jumping in, but at the same time, that does make him look kind of bad, right? And why? Oh, why do you have to use weapons? After all, you're hanging around with Joey Stack. You're hanging around with what's the man kitty's name? Jake Johns. You're hanging around with fucking Summer Sausage Jake John, and he got a weapon pulled on him, allegedly, and he cried about it. That motherfucker had to pull a knife on me, doggy. Hey, doggy, had to pull a knife, doggy. Couldn't catch a fair one, doggy. Well, where were you, Wes Watson, when fair ones were being caught? Because you didn't catch a fair one either. In fact, now that we look at it, this big old 7-foot monster that you allegedly knocked out and beat up, you didn't do that. You hit him with a belt buckle and your friends jumped in. Wow. It's crazy, right? I can't wait till the full footage is brought out and shown to expose Wes Watson for the charlatan and shenanigan guy that he is, that we already know. This is not, it's news, but it's not news to me. I understood. That's why I said yesterday in my video, we need to see the full clip. We need to see the full video. There's a reason why that video was not shown. Now the video is easily being explained. Like I said, go on to John Bravo's channel so he can explain it, because he, first and foremost, he's the one that tapped in with the manager of Elevation Gym and got the full rundown so that we could hear it in its entirety. Now, as far as Wes Watson's credibility, shot put. It's thrown out. Okay, if this is ever exposed, this is going to hurt his heart, because it's definitely going to be a decision, a crazy decision that the district attorney is going to have to make, whether they lock this guy up. Now, if it's just a one-on-one mutual combat, a fist fight, someone approached you to stand your ground state, yeah, you have every intention to handle your business and protect your personal belongings and yourself. I get it, right? There's been situations where dudes ran up on me and I had to protect myself, and I ain't mad at them. It is what it is. They felt a certain way. I felt a certain way played out. And I'm not mad about even Wes using weapons. Not at all. There is nothing fair in fighting. Okay. Regardless of if it's the manly thing to do, no one has ever claimed Wes Watson is a man at this point, right? So I wouldn't put it past them. The thing is to post videos and act tough and act like you did this and did that when you didn't do it alone, when you didn't do the manly thing, you didn't catch the fade, you didn't handle business like you're portraying you handle business. Well, that's just another fraud notch on fucking Wes Watson's belt, right? That's the way I look at it. I commend John Bravo for the homework that he's doing and for sticking to the grind on this. Again, we're not here to assist law enforcement, not myself, Dubs, John Bravo, Mud Pit, Bubba, none of us. I'm sure at the end of the day, man, we don't want to see Wes Watson locked up. But the question is how and why he's able to get away with things like this after being exposed on so many different fronts. Now, the exposed game is this. This person, Wes Watson, I'm not even going to call him a man anymore because he just defies the gravity of man, right? But this super villain, this superhero, Iron Woman, Wes Watson, for him to lie and portray a certain way, it's a slap in the face of people that are actually supporting him, people that have hired him and paid thousands of dollars for this life coach. What's going to happen to the people that paid these thousands of dollars for these phone calls and this life coach to help him live a better life if he's locked up? Did they get a refund, homie? Did they get their money back? Are you going to make it flow state right back into their accounts? Or are they burnt? Or are you going to call them from prison or jail? One never knows, does one, but it's definitely heating up. If weapons were used, if someone else did get involved and jumped in and the police received videotape of this, best believe all this information will and has to be forwarded to the district attorney, and we're going to see how it works out. Again, all this playing the victim role, well, dude ran up on me. Yeah, dude could run up on you. Doesn't mean you got to hit him with the weapon, ever. Now, again, speaking streetwise, fuck it. Do what you got to do, right? But using a weapon on someone who doesn't have the mental capacity to understand what you're doing, well, that show makes you that man, huh? Again, man, it's breaking news. It's put out there on John Bravo's channel. Go tap in. I know Dubs is going to be doing a video on it too, I'm sure. Everyone's probably going to touch on this like Wes Watson touches on fucking Big Boy's butthole. And we're going to understand and reason with the fact that Wes Watson is just a gangster now. Now he has it on his belt. Now he's finally used weapons. Out of all them times he was a shot caller in prison on the level 4 yard, he never talks about using a knife. He never talks about using any weaponry. Now he can put that notch on his belt. He did it at the gym, right? He had to use a weightlifting belt at the gym, allegedly. Remember, this is all allegedly. It's up for the authorities to figure out. Obviously, it's hard for them to figure it out because they have the videotape and he's still not arrested. I wonder how come and why. I just wonder. It's a small wonder. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. How people that talk that shit, that actually get involved in an incident, are still able to walk the streets and talk that shit. It defies, like I said, the gravity of man. It defies reasonable thinking. Wes Watson is a lot of things. The one thing he is not is hardcore. Okay. But to use weapons, not everyone can do that. So there's a screw loose in this egotistical, maniacal maniac mind that Wes Watson has. Now, again, what does this do for his brand? What does this do for the Wes Watson fit, right? What does it do for all the people that look up to him and think he's a productive member of society that got it out the mud? Well, it makes them question it. Definitely makes a lot of people question his accounts of things. Not me. I don't question nothing Wes Watson does. I already know it's bullshit. It smells like straight manure. It smells like the manure that was in the back of Biff Tannen's fucking 1956 Chevelle, right? It just smells like it does. And we see it for what it is. But again, man, shout out to John Bravo for exposing the situation and for actually tapping in with the manager. Hey, well played, homie. Well played, right? And, sometimes there's people that will cover for you, and sometimes there's people that won't. And this manager of the gym is definitely not going to cover for Wes Watson because at the end of the day, Wes Watson brought a lot of bullshit to his place of business. And I understand where he's coming from. Is Wes Watson going to be allowed to frequent that gym still? I don't know. Maybe so. Is he going to last long enough on the streets before he's incarcerated to keep boasting and bragging about beating up a mentally challenged person? I don't know. So far, so good when it comes to Wes Watson, right? But one thing I'll say for sure is that, this development is definitely not a good look for Wes, especially when it comes to incarceration, man. Anytime weapons are used or there's more than one person involved in the fight, jumping another guy, that guy, whether or not he ran up first, he is truly a victim. So the victimization of what's going on and the exposure of this is going to hurt Wes Watson's pockets for surely, though. But it's going to hurt his ego and it's going to hurt his heart and it's going to hurt his freedom even more. So stay tuned as this saga continues, as we try to figure out exactly what's going on with Wes Watson. Stay tapped in with the Dub S channel, man. Of course, he's bringing you the late breaking news. And John Bravo, like I said, Bubba, Mud Pit, all these guys that are doing their thing, Mac Truck. You know, I appreciate him. And even Jesse on Fire, man, who has touched on the Wes Watson situation as well. You know, it's just a situation where we hate to elaborate and keep talking about a man that really isn't a man. But at the end of the day, as this news comes out, it's content worthy. I'll just say that. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. Wes Watson, busted. Man, his homeboy too? See, that's what you get for backing up Wes Watson. I bet you one of them testifies against each other. Which one's it going to be? Let me know in the comments. Bang, bang.